You motherfuckers never cease to astonish me. I mean, coming out the woodwork, just straight out the gate, I want to know something. And this is real talk. Let's keep this real. What the fuck is cooning? Somebody tell me. Because I would think my historical knowledge of the word usually involves someone black or someone putting on blackface, exhibiting the stereotypical characteristics of someone who looks like me or of a darker pigmentation for the entertainment value of someone white. So if that is what I believe to be the correct definition of the word, somebody please explain to me why the fuck you so-called pro-blacks and you so-called down for the cause motherfuckers is running around calling people coons, much less for shit that we just happen to not agree upon. Who the fuck does that? I mean, honestly, I want to know who the fuck does that. See, this is what really, and I mean really, agitates me about some of you soggy, weak-ass, effeminate, bitch-made Negroes. Y'all love to say we love black people. That's what you do. But the first words out of your mouth is I'm black as hell, I'm gay, I'm a coon. Now, the first two of those insults don't quite bother me at all. In fact, none of them do. But for some reason, I get a little irritated with the word coon. Because I know for a fact when I look at myself and I look at what I stand for, I obviously don't exhibit the stereotypical behaviors of a Negro. And I don't go around doing it for the entertainment of white folks. So it doesn't bother me personally. But it irritates the fuck out of me because it just goes to prove how disingenuous you jackasses are. And every time I point out to your dumbass, you got to sit there and argue with me. And then not only do you want to argue with me, you come and watch my videos and call me a coon and Uncle Tom and a sellout. What I come to notice is y'all motherfuckers just love using words just to how they sound because you think they sound good and you don't know the fucking context to go in. But let's go with your definition of what a coon is. So by that logic that you dumbasses exhibit, that would make you a coon. Because stereotypically, you exhibit thought speak. But then that's not much of a stereotype because that's true. The majority of you smoke weed or do drugs of some sort. Well, that's not a stereotype then if that's actually true. Well, it's not much of a stereotype. Most of you got bastard kids. Okay, on this one, we in the same bracket. Most of you ain't got no job and ain't trying to do something with your life. Not much of a stereotype if it's true. See where I'm going with this shit? And the funny thing I notice is that you dumbasses love to sit there and say with someone who has common sense, logic, and reasoning to put aside his emotional investments in something that clearly has nothing to do with him personally. And he just engages with the substance of the material presented for him. Because he doesn't come to the same conclusions with you for some crazy ass deus ex machina. He's a coon. So I'm going to ask my question again. What the fuck is a coon? And I'm going to caveat that question. What's the barometer of cooning? Because if you ask me, there's a lot of you dumb fuckers out here, both notorious, got a following, as well as the trolls who exhibit that same behavior. If you want to go by your logic, if I were to assess what's cooning, coons tend to exhibit the same behavior as the person to their left or their right, or very similar latitudes of behavior. And let's take away from the stereotypes for a minute. Well, the majority anyway. Most of these people are people who are very emotional. Most of these people are people that don't use common sense and deal with the facts and the evidence presented them. That's just number one. Number two, these are the people that, for whatever reason, always seem to externalize issues that affect the black community. For example, I had a chance to watch a news clip today on New Possibilities channel, and I'll deal with that jackass at a later date with a video, where Dr. Benjamin Carson and Jesse Jackson were engaging the issue of Ferguson, Missouri, and the issue of race. And what I saw in that video was that every time Jesse Jackson opened his mouth to speak, what did he do but play the race card? Jesse Jackson. Remember, this is y'all, y'all black hero. This is pretty much your black Hercules. I'm not even going to go anywhere close by saying your black Jesus, because that is just sacrilege in my opinion. To call a man a god. This is your black Hercules. This is your black Odysseus. Your black Perseus. This is the guy that, for all points and purpose, this capstoning off right here, he's your black Julius Caesar. That's who he is to y'all. Can't do no wrong. He is perfect in every way. But when he got up with Benjamin Carson, the same man that y'all love to call a coon, a Sambo, yet he grew up like most of your black asses. In the hood. How do I know? Well, let's start for the fact that I actually read Ben Carson's books. Think Big, Gifted Hands, just to name one or two. Ben Carson grew up just like your black ass. And Ben Carson did some of the same shit you knuckleheads were doing when he was a kid. The difference, when Ben Carson realized personal responsibility and accountability, setting goals, being mindful and observant of the law, trying to make himself a law-abiding citizen and a person of good, sound, moral character. And of course, again, setting a goal and chasing it. Look where Ben Carson is, and well, look where Jesse Jackson is. Ben Carson, a world-renowned neurosurgeon. Jesse Jackson, a political activist, who kind of is known for selling out his own people. But what happened, and what did you Negroes do? Oh, Ben Carson's a coon. Ben Carson said, really? Ben Carson saves lives on a daily basis, every day. I've read the stories. I've looked them up. People whose lives he saved as a brain surgeon. Ben Carson is the example of a black person, of how black people can turn their situation from fucked up to beneficial. But what did y'all do? Of course, like I said before, said it again. You called him a coon. And I'm still wanting to know, because it's irritating me. Why is it that you feel the need to say, because we don't agree, I am a coon? See, this is the problem with y'all black folk. Y'all are scared to think outside the box. You're scared to put aside your pessimistic feelings. You're scared to stop thinking about everybody else doing this to me. Let me tell y'all black asses something. See, the real coons, using your logic, are the people that seem to want to blame everything else on everybody else and never wants to take personal responsibility. Like the people in your neighborhood that deals that drugs. Deal that weed, deal that coke, that smack. And they're saying, well, I can't make it in the world. Not realizing if you have entrepreneurial skills like that to move those drugs through the hood and command a high sum of money, imagine what you could do if you knew how to market those skills in the right direction. Like those prostitutes. Like, let's see, the drug dealers, the prostitutes, the gangbangers. Those people. And then, of course, the disingenuous folks among you who are coons. You know, the people that will never admit that black folk largely contribute to their own degradation here in America. Not looking at the fact that historically we went from a people of pride and bearing, despite the fact that we were separate from every other ethnic group in this America. And when I mean separate, I mean like we were like considered the bottom of the barrel, separate. But then if you want to look at it conventionally in the use of the word, where we were separated from white folk. But yet, so by your logic, then those people would be coons. By your logic. You see how this works? See, y'all dumbasses running around calling people coons. Usually, I want to tell you something that my godfather once told me. When you point the finger at somebody, notice you have 3 pointing back at your damn self. So if you're going to run around and call me a coon, understand you're 3 times the coon I'll ever be. That's just real facts. Because real recognize real, and let's keep this shit honest and focused for a moment. Running around calling people coons for disagreements of political ideology just shows exactly where the black race is headed. And I'm being honest with you, we're heading to our own personal Armageddon. If you want to run around and claim like you're down for the fucking cause and you're down for the black people, but yet all you can do is name call, insult, not even engage with the substance. You can't put your personal feelings to the side. You can't use your fucking brain. Well, most of you don't use your brains anyway, but that's besides the point. I gotta wonder, where are we gonna head as a people? Gotta wonder. And the thing is, those people who you call coons are the ones that can watch the changing times and events and know what the fuck is going on better than the newscasters that are the ones that are reporting the damn news, and even the people that got boots on fucking ground. You know, like when I made that prediction about martial law occurring over incidents of police brutality, just by what happened here in New York. And you guys called me a coon for that. But yet and still, was I not right in saying that martial law would happen? We'd keep going down this road, and look where we are now in Ferguson, Missouri. Let me make this evidently clear for y'all. The true coons are the ones that bring race into every little thing. You know, like your Jesse Jacksons, like your Al Charlatans, your NAACP. The true coons are the people that refuse to admit that black folk largely can fix their own problems and they don't need outside influence. They just need to be honest with themselves and honestly assess the problem. The real coons are the people who actively engage in destroying their own community, but swear up and down that they're trying to build it up. You know, like the revolutionary with the tattoos. You know, like New Possibilities. You know, like the Black Authority. And mind you, I'm not calling their names to start a beef. I'm just going off their ideology and saying this is what I see their ideology leading to. This is not a personal issue with you, gentlemen. So if you feel it's personal, that's your own fucking problem. I'm not trying to cause no beef here. I'm just saying this is where I look at it as. See, the real coon is the person that sits there and says, white supremacy this, white supremacy that. Let me tell you a little bit of truth for your black asses. Nobody on this earth that lives and breathes, is born and dies, is above nor beneath me. I am a man, I am a father, I am a husband. I'll be damned if I let one of you jackasses sit here and tell me the white man is above me because he's white. The white man can be better than me in economy because he knows how to make his money work for him better than I do. The white man could be above me in matters of politics because he may have a better understanding of the system than I do. But then if I know this and I do nothing about it, whose fault is it? Is it the white man for knowing that there are opportunities he could take advantage of and takes advantage of it? Or is it my fault because I know he's making headway and I refuse to at least bring myself on par with him in categories when normally he would be whooping my ass. Even though the same opportunities exist, is it my fault or his fault that I don't take advantage of him? Right. Just like you'll sit there and you'll blame the Asian man. I'm more interested in learning how the Asian man went from being one of the last countries to go into the Industrial Revolution and is now in a lot of places making headway in the markets, building up assets, money. I'm interested because if it worked for them, it'll work for me. Just like the Jews. If they can come together and do all this and make their money work for them, if it'll work for them, it'll work for me. I'm not trying to unite based on skin color. I'm trying to unite based on this. It's a plus if the people I'm uniting with look like me. That's a plus, but it's not a requirement. And the fact of the matter is, you can call me a coon all you like. But if you don't like the fact that I'm speaking to the truth to you, then you sure as hell ain't gonna like the fact that when you come to this let me not steal a Queasy 100's fucking outro. Let me stop playing, because y'all thought I was gonna do it. Now let me stop kidding around. All jokes aside though, as it stands, I don't think I made my case fairly simple. And if you want me to elaborate, I will do a part 2 or even a part 3 for y'all. No problem. But before y'all go, 2 things you need to know. Number 1, make sure you click that like button. You hit that subscribe button if you did not subscribe. You hit that share button. And if you feel you want to talk about some of the things I said, by all means, talk about it. And if you got named in this video and you feel you need to say some choice words, do what you got to do. And number 2, when you come to this channel looking for change, solutions, and ideas, just keep in mind that change starts at 1. Peace. God bless.